Excuse me. We couldn't help but notice that you're a little on the soaked side. Do you have somewhere to go? Well then, come on in here. You don't need to be catching anything. We just put dinner on the table and there's more than enough for you to join us. It's settled. Then come on, dear. It's too cold out there.
My, you look cold and wet. Darling, why didn't you get them some dry clothes? They don't need to become ill because they didn't dry off. I'll get the fire started. It's a little cold not to have one going.
Good idea. Come on, dear. We have some clothes in the spare room that you can put on. The last of our kids moved out last year and they left clothes in case anyone needs them. There are clothes in the closet and the dresser, and there are some towels on the top shelf you can dry yourself off with. Just come downstairs whenever you're finished and we'll put your clothes in the dryer for you.
Here they come, darling.
Oh, I'm glad to see those clothes fit you. Come sit down and have dinner with us. It's warm. When we're done, we can find something to do after we finish cleaning up. You look like you'd been out there a while. Any reason why?
That makes sense, I suppose. Although, not completely. Why did you feel you shouldn't go home? Feeling guilty, huh? You want to talk about it?
Well, sure. We'd love to help if we can.
Lost your job, huh? Why would that make you feel like you can't go back home?
Oh, I'm sure your significant other would understand, dear. Layoffs happen.
Well, if they can't understand, then why do you feel you should stay with them?
If they want to hurt you in any way, dear, then maybe you shouldn't stay in that situation.
We're far from the perfect couple, kid. We've gone through all sorts of things throughout our relationship, and even outside of it. Maybe you should look at how things go in different situations and weigh your options.
Oh, we don't mind, dear. We can tell you all sorts of stories.
Well, for one, we met in a bar in America, hence my wife's accent. She was not in a very good place at the time. She was barely making ends meet, while here I am, a successful businessman with several companies. We fell in love, but we were unable to be together at the time because she was married to an absolute bastard. Did all sorts of awful things. Ended up in debt to the wrong crowd. Since she and I kept in contact, I was able to go back to America and take care of her. We've been hopping the pond back and forth ever since.
Well, I kind of felt stuck, I suppose. I didn't see any way out. But as soon as those bikers took care of my horrible ex-husband, I felt like I had some freedom to get away. Well, I had 2 young children that he used to control me a lot. But once my wonderful husband rescued me, we all had a lot of adjusting to do. He was gracious enough to split our time between America and England, and it was a much better environment for the children.
Well, I suppose.
Well, looks like we're eating next to the hearth tonight. Come on, dear. Get close so you can have some light and stay warm.
Oh, don't worry, we'll continue the story.
Well, I can tell you're already invested, aren't you?
Well, it's not hard to figure things out if you work together.
Well, it sounds like your partner is working against you, not with you.
We can't exactly speak on that. The worst fight we ever had was whether we needed to change our minds on dinner one night because our guest was being a picky eater.
Maybe you should talk to your partner about what's going on. I can understand that it can be hard when they try to deny everything you're saying, though.
Well, we had one of the kids' friends over for the day, and they absolutely refused to touch anything we made for dinner. Well, they wanted something rather specific and wouldn't eat anything else. I said he needed to get over it and eat what we had, and she argued that we should make it special for him. Quite annoying, really.
Well, I suppose that eventually we argued it out and I won.
Yes, you are fairly convincing, dear.
I know I am. I love you.
I love you too, dear.
How do we make our relationship work? Well, it's a little complicated, I suppose.
It's not that complicated. Really, all you have to do is make sure that everything is give and take. Not give, and take, and take.
True. You have to make sure that both of your needs are being met, physical and mental. For instance, I like to cuddle much more than my husband. So we compromise and cuddle when we're watching a movie, so that I get the comfort of feeling him next to me. He doesn't feel so uncomfortable because he doesn't like it. It's occasional rather than all the time. You really just have to find compromises. Meet halfway, and it works a lot better. Oh, yes. There was one time right after my Lord of the Rings marathon. He was at work, and I woke up and texted him about 10:45 in the morning. Oh no, I missed breakfast, and second breakfast. It's almost time for 11Cs.
Oh no, at first I thought she'd lost her sanity, but then I remembered what she'd done the day before.
You can also tell because you'll have some moments that you overact things just to be funny. Like the stop sign, remember, dear?
Dear God, how could I forget? I accidentally missed a stop sign and said to her, "Whoops, I missed a stop sign," while there aren't any police around, and I'm sure you'll forgive me.
To which I replied, my face deadpan, with, "Nope, sorry. I mean, I love you and all, but you missed that stop sign. This was the very boundary securing our relationship. We're so over."
And then I began overdramatically, started fake sobbing. I said, "I've ruined everything over a stop sign. I should have known."
I could hardly keep myself from laughing when I replied with, "You're such a ham. Sorry, babe, I love your fake sobbing. It's over the top."
I couldn't help but respond with, "Well, of course it is. That's the point. You start out small, and then you grow in intensity until,
I started imitating him until we both were giggling hysterically.
I had to say, "So that just happened?"
I couldn't think of anything else, so I just responded with, "Yep, we're lame."
The only thing I could say was, "Indeed we are, my dear," and I wouldn't have done us any other way.
You know you're meant for each other when you can manage to pull off a lame roleplay without it getting awkward. It is truly the sign of a healthy relationship when both the partners can comfortably be stupid with each other with full confidence in the fact that they will not be judged. Funny love stories or not.
It's really no trouble for us. We enjoy having people to dinner. Oh, listen, it stopped raining.
Well, I hope you can figure things out with your significant other. Have a good night, dear. You ever need to talk? Our door is open.
Well, if you're sure you should go, then have a wonderful evening. And you're always welcome back for dinner. Do show the bunny some love. She hit her first 1,000 subs recently and was so excited. Wouldn't it be amazing if we gave her another 1,000?